So you just got a diagnosis, maybe type 2 diabetes, maybe insulin resistance, and it can feel, well, pretty heavy. But here's the thing. What if that diagnosis isn't an endpoint? What if it's actually a starting line? A really powerful moment where you get to hit the reset button on your health. In this explainer, we're going to walk through a 30-day plan to do exactly that.
You know, so often, the conversation is all about just managing symptoms, usually with a handful of medications. But what if we could go deeper? What if you could actually tackle the root cause head-on? This is all about a 30-day plan designed to do just that, to start reversing the underlying problem, not just putting a bandage on it.
Okay, so before we can fix something, we've got to understand what's actually broken, right? And the problem, deep down, is something called insulin resistance. The best way to think about it? Let's use a really simple but powerful analogy. A massive traffic jam that's happening right inside your body's cells.
So what is it exactly? Well, in the simplest terms, insulin resistance is when your cells start to kinda ignore the signals from the hormone insulin. Think of insulin like a key. Its job is to unlock your cells to let glucose, which is your body's fuel, get inside. But with insulin resistance, it's like the locks on your cells get all rusty and the key just doesn't work right anymore.
And this is where that traffic jam idea really clicks into place. Dr. Eric Berg just nails it here. He's talking about the mitochondria. Those are the tiny energy factories inside your cells. And he says they're full of bottlenecks and traffic jams. And he points out that this gridlock, this is the real issue behind so many health problems.
So imagine all that fuel, that glucose, is now stuck in traffic. It can't get into the cells where it needs to go, so it just backs up in your bloodstream. That's high blood sugar. And at the same time, your cells are literally starving for energy, which is why you feel so tired and get those crazy, intense cravings. It's a total vicious cycle.
Okay, so we've got a cellular traffic jam. But the good news? Traffic jams can be cleared, and we have a plan. Let's get into the 30-day action plan that's designed to systematically get that traffic moving again.
The big goal here is to achieve something called metabolic flexibility, which is just a fancy way of saying we want to teach your body to be a superstar at switching between burning carbs and burning fat for fuel. There are 4 key steps to get there. 1. Eat less often. 2. Eat fewer carbs. 3, and this one is so important, use enough fat but not too much. And finally, number 4, a really cool concept called exercise snacking.
All right, let's drill down on this fat thing for a second, because this is where a lot of people get tripped up. There's a huge difference between sufficient fat and excessive fat. Sufficient fat, that's the fat that just comes naturally with your food. Think meat, cheese, avocados. Excessive fat is when you start adding tons of extra stuff like MCT oil in your coffee or making fat bombs. The problem is, if you eat too much fat, your body has to spend all its time burning that fat before it ever gets around to tapping into your own stored body fat. You're basically getting in your own way.
And what about exercise snacking? Honestly, this is a total game changer. We're not talking about spending hours at the gym. We're talking about breaking up your day with short, 5-minute bursts of activity. Maybe some intense exercise before a meal, or just a quick walk right after you eat. It turns out these little snacks of movement are incredibly effective at improving your insulin sensitivity and helping to clear all that sugar out of your bloodstream.
Okay, so that's the plan. But what's it actually feel like? Let's talk about week 1, because the changes you can feel happen surprisingly fast. These are the quick wins that are going to keep you motivated and fired up.
So right now, before you start, maybe life feels like a total energy roller coaster. You know, you're dealing with constant cravings, maybe you're feeling grouchy, anxious. But after just 1 week on this reset, it can be like flipping a switch. We're talking stable, consistent energy all day long. Those nagging, relentless cravings, they just start to fade away. And your mood, it becomes calmer, more stable. It's a profound shift in how you feel every single day.
So you're probably wondering, how on earth can all that change in just 1 week? Well, it all comes down to hormones. When your blood sugar is all over the place, your body is constantly pumping out the stress hormone cortisol to deal with what it thinks is an emergency. By stabilizing your blood sugar, you calm down that cortisol response, and that means less anxiety and way better sleep. At the same time, your body is remembering how to burn its own fat for fuel, and that's a steady, clean-burning energy source, not like the spiky energy you get from sugar. And steady energy means a steady mood, simple as that.
Look, those week 1 wins are amazing, and they'll keep you motivated for sure. But this journey is about so much more than just the first week. So let's zoom out and look at the big picture, the massive long-term wins for your health, and, believe it or not, even for your taste buds.
Okay, This one's serious, but it is so important to understand. High blood glucose is the #1 cause of new cases of blindness in adults. Full stop. The reason is that all that extra sugar in the blood damages the tiny, delicate blood vessels at the back of your eye. By getting your blood sugar under control, you are actively and directly protecting your eyesight for years to come.
And it's not just your eyes. The exact same process that damages those tiny blood vessels in your eyes, it's also happening in your kidneys. Your kidneys are basically just these giant, intricate filters made up of millions of these little vessels. Damage them with high blood sugar, and you're on the road to kidney failure. So everything you do to protect your eyes also protects your kidneys. It's all connected.
All right, now for one of my favorite parts of this whole process, something you probably never even expected. Dr. Sten Ekberg says it so well here. He basically says that refined sugar is like a bully. It just overpowers everything else and completely covers up the natural beauty and all the subtle flavors in real food.
So when you kick that overpowering sweetness to the curb, something incredible starts to happen. Your palate, it resets. You start to notice the natural sweetness in a bell pepper, the nutty complexity of a good cheese, the rich flavor of meat. Food starts to taste more vibrant and delicious than you remember. You are literally getting your taste buds back.
So, as you can see, this 30-day plan isn't about suffering through another restrictive diet. Not at all. It's a strategic reset. It's a powerful tool to clear out that cellular traffic jam and give you back control over your body's most fundamental operating system, your metabolism.
Think about it. The potential for change in just 1 month is incredible. Stable energy, no cravings, a better mood, and taking the first real steps toward protecting your body for the long run. The 30-day reset starts whenever you're ready. The only question left is, what will your health look like a month from now?